bopper weapons and battle styles. And it's very, very alpha. Yeah, it's very, very alpha male in it. And so they do treat girls coming in a lot differently because of the physical aspects. And you can take so much advantage with that.
Oh, yeah.
I hate the crap out of this. No, oh, in.
Yeah, I have
Stay down.
I have a friend who we were out. I do LARP, do amped guard.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Bravo.
And we had one of my female friends is just getting ready to just get wasted by this guy, and he's watching her face. And she's, quit staring at my boobs. And he's like, oh my God. And she stabs him and runs.
I love using that. Because like, you're going to hit me?
See, I don't ever get that opportunity because I'm 6'1".
So I'm like, oh, I'm scared. They're like, bull crap.
I'm talking to your waist. I'm afraid of you.
Well, so I guess we go the other way. Exactly. It's a win-win situation if you're a girl and you play LARP. I'm just saying that.
Given my experience, that should go work on me.
It's awesome for like he knows the thing too. It's a nice land game where it's really practical and having to build stuff up and everything, and you're the only girl, so you're the last one anyone's gonna attack. So you just sit back and start building and amassing resources. And we used to play Total Annihilation, and I would sit there and raise armies, and I would go all the way up to total nuke plants and watch the guys kill each other and weaken each other off, and then I would just come out and go, nuke, I win.
You ever heard of that Dragon Chick tracked Dark Dungeons? How ridiculous that thing was. But the real ridiculous thing on the first panel, there's several things wrong. One, no Cheetos or Mountain Dew, but two, there's like 4 times the number of girls in that gaming group as it was normal. I mean, it's not the same as that I'm concerned about. It's not the book learning or the witchcraft. It's the fact that there's like 4 girls in the gaming group.
I love that. I was like 17 when I heard that because after the first time I played D&D was at a comic book shop, and my mom she's like, I don't know, she's very open-minded, you know, and she's kind of like old school nerdy and everything. And I remember talking to her, and I was like, Mom, what is D&D? You know, I hear it from school and everything. Well, what is it exactly? I mean, you know, is it good? Is it bad? Yeah, I don't know. And she's like, you know what? Let's go find out. She dropped me off at 7 p.m. at the comic book shop, and didn't come back for 4 hours. Awesome. And I was the only girl there, and I was hooked. And I honestly think if it wasn't for D&D and it wasn't for that comic book shop, I don't know. I mean, that was just the best thing that ever happened to me.
Your
And,
mom is awesome, by the way.
that's my girl. She's like, you know what? She's not gonna get in trouble. She's spending all her money on like D&D books. She ain't gonna be doing drugs.
Comic book store boys.
That's also what we call the gamers and the sequel to Gamers 2.
Yes.
There was that scene in the Gamers 2 where the chick walks into the game shop and everyone's just staring.
It's one of those Darkness Rising.
Yeah.
Yes.
Number 2, yeah.
Use the pile of dead bodies.
Yes.
That movie is amazing.
I like the. Has anyone seen Fear of Girls?
Yeah.
Seen that one?
Yeah.
I love that. Have you guys not seen that? Oh.
It's kind of homoerotic because he's in there. Because I noticed that when dudes play with each other sometimes, not like that, but it gets kind of like that because I'll try and throw.
That's such a sexy line. I love that either way.
When I throw, I get sick of the guys every once in a while, you know, just based on what I said earlier on what their characters should do. You know, we played World of Darkness, and they're like, oh hey, my character can hypnotize anybody, whatever. And then a lot of that is very sexual based. So when they bring that into the game, they're like, yeah, I'm gonna go pick up this chick. I'm like, you guys have sex, whatever. You know, but there's no romance. So I tried to bring romance in once, and
a girl game.
that gets awkward. With my girl gamers, it's a lot easier to portray the romance between the two characters and do like have their, you know, add that element in, and I think that's a really great element. But for the guy gamers, sometimes it gets awkward unless, you know, you're so close with your guy friends that you can do that. There's only one that I have like that. The rest of the time it's just like, you two have sex. Rolled for it to be awesome. And then they roll a 1. I'm like,
That's when you need like the Crystal Castle dice so that the oblong thing goes on forever.
Yeah.
So you're just watching it and you're like, oh wow, it stopped at 3 seconds anyway.
I just consider those situations a competition and awkward.
Yeah.
More awkward.
No, like your faces. Sorry,
Someone MySpace needs to take a picture.
Oh, I think it's important. She thinks she can manage it.
Awesome.
Who was it?
I'm so important. That was Dave. He's the lead manager. If you guys don't know
Alex is like ridiculously involved in a lot of these conventions, and she's the person that when all of us are screaming and crying and pulling our hair out and things are on fire, she's going, shut up, I'm fixing it.
Something needs to get
Here's
done.
food, eat this. By the way, your leg is bleeding.
I think I ended up being about something because I was thinking about this last night. I was thinking about this. I can wait.
That's a good question.
So anyway, as I was saying, I know we both reached for the light chairs. One thing, and I was thinking about last night, I'm sure girls do this all the time, I don't know about guys, but you like think of something that's happened in the past, and even though it was a long time ago, it irks you off still. You think about it, you know what, I'm in bad mood. It was fun until I started thinking about this. I was doing some coverage for a video game competition.
Bye bye, Allie, we love you.
Something must be on
Fire,
fire.
and I have to go put it down.
And this was a couple of years ago. This is why it was so disturbing that I was still mad about it. And they had something called booth babes. And okay, see, I'm starting to get mad again just thinking about it. And basically, they're gorgeous girls, and they basically get a rough sheet of basically what game they're trying to promote, but they're not gamers. They can't game, but they're there because they're drop dead gorgeous. And I was wondering, it's like that almost, you know, we have to compete so much in society already with these kind of images and everything. And I think that puts a real, it's almost kind of tainting the girl gamer realm.
Well, to be cute and sarcastic, we could always, up the demographic by having, booth dudes.
And that's what I want to do. But they won't let me do it somehow. That's offensive. But you can have like these chicks with like double D's out there saying, yes, I play with be.
Well, I mean, if we went so far as to do that, considering the people I know who are nerdy enough to actually gain the aesthetic quality of that or sales demographic may not necessarily be what we would want to be portraying.
They're hot dog gamers.
I'm
No,
sure.
I'm not saying it's not. I just thought it was like, we have to compete with that in everything, magazines, movies, modeling, everything. And then they're just kind of, and then it would be different if they could game. And it would be different if they were passionate about it and they were there because they know the gaming systems, they know how to play. But to me, it just seems, it's fake.
It's marketing. What do you expect? I mean, it's,
But this is a place where we can come and say we're mad about it. So.
well, you
I just
can't,
thought it was, it's kind of,
your guy can't go up to a booth and go, hey, what did you do for this tactic on this level? And they're just going to stare at you blankly. I mean, you just can't do
does
things.
that
with
not frustrate you though? I mean, I know it frustrates the girls because it's kind of like, what's the purpose
Well,
of
we
that?
know that they don't game, so why try?
Plus, you're too afraid to approach
That's a
them
good
anyway.
question. Why would you try it if they don't game? I'm sure there are plenty of guys going up and asking them anyway.
Yes.
You that they have a competition called Master.
This is true.
I know.
I stand corrected.
This week, about E3, electronic tools, internet stuff.
What's that?
Big room.
I'm sorry. That was horrible. I love all of
When
it.
they, I don't know what the word is, they rented out Playboy plans. One company did.
Really?
Yes, they did. One company actually got Playboy girls.
See, and I would just, Microsoft did this for so long.
yet they're allowed to have these girls in these skimpy outfits and come up there and no one says anything
But
about
it's
that.
reality.
What were you saying about the?
Well, he brought up E3, and this year Nintendo, was showing off the 3DS, took a bunch of models and strapped DSs into them.
All of them beat up standard. They pointed
Did they
it out
get to
on the
keep
website.
them?
They thought it was cute. Or like one person per person in the audience. They showed them what the new thing can do.
They literally have the DSs tethered to them.
Yeah.
Well, I just thought, instead of doing that, there's so many really, really beautiful girl gamers that can game and do like that. I think they would accomplish so much more by bringing them in. And I mean, like, if they brought in like really pretty girls that can game and everything like that, I mean, they could.
This is gonna sound terrible, but I'm assuming the only reason they wouldn't do that is because those women are smart and they want more money. I'm sorry, I just had to go there, because I've been in
Their
sales
sales
and
pitch could be
marketing.
so much better,
I did sales and marketing for 20 years, and there are a ton of things that, I mean, obviously, pretty much everything that you're saying, movies and acting is something that we would have to compete with on an intellectual level, because everyone's like, oh, you have nice parts, or whatever. So yeah, I mean, I completely see what you're saying, but I would assume that some sales and marketing person sitting up in an office somewhere is like, we don't want to pay them.
Okay, well, I want a moment of honesty from all the gentlemen here. Would you find it more attractive to talk to a girl who knows about gaming and is very savvy on a certain game and a certain, product or anything, or someone who's just really, really pretty and just kind of go blah 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 blah?
I'm more of a just knowledge actually.
Because I talk to that all the time. I have there's like a national level full cali player here. That's what I do. I play full cali for competitively with national stuff. And I mean, I have a bunch of them. I mean, France and people, some of the best players are girls. So I'm always talking to them. I'm always like, plus frames, what their attacks are, what we're always, when I'm doing wrong, why they're beating me, what they're doing wrong, when I beat them, whatever. I love that. And not just girls, it's anybody. That's what I've been doing for years. That's why I don't play differently than them. I'm always doing it. And I know, MLG, a couple of the MLG girls who play there are live.
Yeah.
And one of them lives here in Oklahoma, and I play with them all the time. So it's awesome. But, that's why, G4, they have their booth day, but they make sure, they do look good, and once they look good, but they have to play the game.
Exactly.
They hired
At least you train them.
a Halo player and all that stuff. It's good.
Keep your hair down and come drink.
I like to think that a significant number of gamer guys are attracted to very, smart. And when you engage in who are the pretty girls that you want to have as kids, how are you going to gauge what pretty is? What standard are you going to use? Are you going to use what you see on a billboard in some lingerie ad, or are you going to? I mean, how do you look at 100 geek girls and say, okay, you guys are pretty enough to go to this booth, and you guys are not pretty enough to go to this booth? And that is a whole can of worms that you have to think about when you talk about it. You're smart.
Yeah.
A couple of years ago, it wasn't even a problem because there wasn't as much money into video games and anything like that. You go to one of these like 10 years ago or something like that, all you'll see is just the normal people, whatever. But now, since everyone's like, oh, hey, we can make money off of that. I know people who do the people just give somebody the steampunk models and stuff like that. There's somebody who didn't do well in the regular modeling world, and then tried to find a niche. And they split for money. They don't know anything about it, but somebody will just give them something just so they can make them